All right, joining us now, a man who has run a company from a couple $1 million up to a $5 billion valuation, an absolute stud of a businessman, international relations, so much so that this weekend, UFC 275 is actually hosting its first ever pay-per-view in Southeast Asia, Singapore. They've been there 4 times before. This will make the 5th. It'll be the biggest, the baddest, with a light heavyweight championship on the line as the marquee fight. Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the UFC, Dana White.
Yeah, Dana!
Dana, what's up?
How are you guys? Good to see you.
Hey, I don't want to dive right into UFC 275. Congrats on having your first ever pay-per-view in Southeast Asia. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Fuck you.
I appreciate it.
Hey, we'll talk about...
You know, we have, I got to tell you this, we have one of the best intern programs in all of sports. And we got like 48 interns here now for the summer. And yesterday, I host them all, like, you know, after they've been here for like a week and whatever. And one of the big topics of discussion yesterday at the intern meeting was you and what you've created and what you've built, and you know how all these kids look up to you, and yeah, it was pretty cool to hear. So congratulations to you. I thought I'd share that with you.
Dana, thank you for that. That's awesome. What did you say? Guy wears a tank top, a little bit of a clown. Let's say maybe a little bit more professional. No, I appreciate that so much, though. Thank you. Tell all your interns, too, like, nothing but love. And hopefully they take advantage of the opportunity to be in the UFC. Okay, that's a huge... Your company, there's only a few companies, I think, that are really, you know, founders are basically still around, some bad motherfuckers going in there. That's awesome, and tell them all thank you. I would like to ask for your thought here, though, because you've got a big fucking brain. PGA Tour, have you kept up with this at all? Do you know what's going on with this?
What is it?
Okay, so the PGA Tour, since the beginning of time, I guess they've never paid any of their golfers. Golfers had to pay their own travel, their own hotel. There's no deals. You basically just get made whatever you earn in winning. And I guess the average is like $1 million for the top, like 60 golfers and everything like that. This Live Tour has come in, backed by Saudi Arabia, and they're paying guys $125 million, $200 million. Phil Mickelson was offered to come golf on their tour. They're going to... Kevin Na, Sergio Garcia, there's like 4 or 5 names that are big names with a lot of guaranteed money the PGA Tour doesn't have. And the majors here in America are allowing those golfers to come back and golf in the majors as well, which is basically the only thing that matters in golf legacy for the top guys. Do you think there's a way that the PGA Tour can keep up here? And in your business, there's companies that pop up all the time. There's Bellator, there's been numerous ones that pop up. Do you keep an eye on that? And how do you combat against it? How do you combat against it? Is the PGA Tour completely like panicked right now, you think, with this?
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. I mean, everybody's making a move right now to get into sports. I mean, sports business has been growing since the 80s, since I first started diving into it and looking into, you know, getting involved in the sports world. From pay of the athletes to sponsorship to television rights, the list goes on and on, how the numbers just keep going through the roof. I mean, I was just looking yesterday in 2001, you know, the Broncos sold yesterday, I heard, for like $4.5 billion.
Yeah.
And I was looking at like the Boston Celtics sold for $386 million back in 2001. I mean, now every one of these teams are worth a minimum of $2 billion. You know, there's a ton of money in sports. We learned through the pandemic how important live sports really are to us and what it means to us as a society. And there's no doubt, if you look at what we're doing over in the Middle East, I've been waiting to announce this big announcement that, you know, for like a year, but something that we're doing that's going on in the Middle East with Abu Dhabi. Yeah, the Middle East is...
Are you announcing that right now? Are you about to make that...
They got a shitload of money, and, you know, they want to be involved in a lot of these major sports, too. I know that, you know, I think the NBA did a deal with Abu Dhabi where they're building basketball courts all over Africa and, you know, all kinds of crazy shit's going on. The sports business just keeps going like this. The PGA is going to have competitors, you know... everybody's going to have competitors, but it's good. It's good for the marketplace. It's good for everybody.
Dana, does a new league like this ever have, like, how do they ever show any profit if they're paying Phil Mick $200 million, another guy $125 million? Do they ever have to turn a profit?
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, man. It's like boxing. They got any of these boxing guys to put on these fights where you hear that this guy's making $40 million, this guy's making. If you think those guys are making money, they're not making money. They're all hurting. That's why the sport's dying. It's some people are going to go out and they're going to build real businesses, and other guys are going to be a flash in the pan or pay to play. Obviously Saudi Arabia wants to pay to play. They want to be involved. They're looking at tourism now. These guys want to start bringing people out. I think they just put I can't remember what the number is. It's billions and billions of dollars into infrastructure for tourism over there. How do you get people to show up and come out, put on unbelievable golf tournaments with big name players and put on big sporting events and concerts and shit like that?
Dana, you've gotten to meet more people than we ever will, especially in positions of power when you're doing Yas Island and Singapore. I'm sure you're having to meet people and let them know what you're looking to do and what you're thinking about doing. How much of it weighs on you about what they're trying to become versus what they maybe were as a country, because that's the big conversation. Everybody's like, now granted, the people that are tweeting that they hate that somebody's getting into business with Saudi Arabia is tweeting from a phone that was probably created through some sort of illegal labor that was happening while wearing Nikes and wearing clothes, so it's there's a mess of contradiction that happens in a lot of things, but there is I think, like saying, hey, there was some fucked up shit that potentially happened there. How much of that do you get to know about, hear about, and how much of that is in the conversation of these countries being like, hey, we're trying to advance where we are and what we are?
When you're a global business like we are, people are going to do mean shit to each other all over the world, okay? And if you're going to boycott and run every time somebody does something mean to each other, you won't have a business, okay? We have all different types of nationalities, religions, people from all over the world. We have different groups of people who have been battling with each other for 1,000 years. It's the way that the world works. I don't get caught up in all that bullshit. And, we run a global business. Not everybody. The world is a very imperfect place, everybody. Get used to it.
Hold on. We wish it wasn't, though, right? We all wish it wasn't. We all wish it was a perfect world, but that's just not reality. That's just not, and sometimes that gets forgotten about.
Furthest thing from reality. The world is never going to be a perfect place. We're all doing the best we can do and trying to make the most of it. You can't run and fucking boycott everything that happens. I mean, every fucking day something happens and something's going on. And if you're that guy running around trying to save the fucking world,
keep tweeting.
Impossible job.
Yeah, keep tweeting. I think you almost got canceled for that macaroni milkshake.
Oh. Yeah, I should have been canceled for that.
How cool is it, though, that you do have a sport that the globe loves? Because I think a lot of things that happen can help bring the globe together, and that never gets talked about. All that ever gets talked about is like, I can't do that because of these people. It's like, what about their citizens, though, sharing a common bond with people on the other side of the fucking world? Like, that's a pretty cool thing to realize, I think. And when you go Singapore, Southeast Asia, how long's that flight?
Yeah, it's like 23 hours.
Jesus. 23 hours, opposite side of the globe. I assume it operates in a much different fashion than here, but there will be a packed out arena there of people watching the same things that we're watching on ESPN Plus, and it's like a common bond. Like that's a cool power that you have, I think.
One of the things that I try to do, listen, we all have our own political views and whatever they might be personally. I try to keep all that shit out of it, in the live event. Even during COVID, when we decided to go through COVID and did it, you never heard me talking about COVID during the event. You could turn on every other channel on TV and hear about COVID and all the other bullshit that was going on during that. Sports are an escape where we all come together, as a fan of one side or the other, and we root and we enjoy this, this time that we have while we're watching a sporting event, and it takes us away from all the shit that's going on in our life. And we tried to do the best job we could through COVID and every other time, if some horrible tragedy happens, we address it at the beginning of the show, and give our thoughts and prayers to people. And then we move right into the show and let you escape from all the bullshit that's going on in your life.
It's called a celebration of sport. And somehow that got forgotten about in this whole world. It's like sports became an avenue for, all these other, which by the way, very important to the world, very serious to the world, but also not everybody wants to hear what other, like, just the getaway is being forgotten
You can
about.
hear that on every
channel.
other fucking channel on TV. You don't need to hear it during sports. It's just my personal opinion. So,
Well, you run
let
one
all
of the
these other
biggest.
guys knock themselves and do whatever the hell you want. But that's never going to happen in the UFC while I'm here.
Go ahead, AJ.
Dana, what about this weekend, UFC 275? There's a lot of great fights on the card, but can you describe to people what this Prohaska guy is like? I know he's fighting Glover Teixeira, which is absolute legend champ in the game, but what is this fight going to be like?
Yeah, no, it's a great fight. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have heard, but there's been a lot of talk about, Glover taking him down and Yuri not being able to, get back on his feet and go to the ground with him. We disagree. This guy's got a 96% finish rate.
Oh, damn.
He's an absolute savage stud. It should be an incredible fight. Valentina Shevchenko, one of the greatest female fighters of all time, is taking on Santos. If you guys watch the feature for this fight, it's a very, very good fight. And Santos is actually a great opponent for the incredible Valentina Shevchenko. And Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk, probably the greatest female fight of all time. And this is the rematch.
Hey, what's that arena going to be like? Is it an arena, stadium? How'd you go about picking?
Yeah, and it's sold out. I mean, we sold this thing out, so it's going to be interesting. I don't know. The Asian fans are usually a lot quieter than the Americans or the British, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun.
Why is that, you think? You think they're judging and analyzing it as like something they want to break down, or why do you think that is?
I don't know. It's interesting because I've actually gone to a couple of Pride events where these guys would have, 65,000 to 100,000 people inside the Superdome, and you could hear a pin drop. You could literally corner a guy from up in the nosebleeds. It was so quiet in there.
It'll be like the Apex or whatever. That Apex.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just a different type of fan.
Hey, those elbows to the face there, that first Apex where what you do? You just build an arena next to your offices, basically? Is that what happened?
Yeah, we bought the building next door and turned it into an arena.
We ain't ever dealing with another fucking pandemic again. We need an arena right over there that we own, that's on our grounds, that we can have a fight. I respect that so much. Whenever you think about being in Singapore for the 5th time, is there anywhere you haven't been where you're looking to go? Do those conversations happen all year round? Is it like things just pop up and it's like, oh yeah, we should do that? Is there anything you're thinking of?
We're going to Paris, France for the first time this year.
Oui.
You guys should do a live show from Paris, France, from the UFC.
All right, when is it?
Yep.
When is it?
When is it? Huh?
September 3rd.
September 3rd.
I mean, that's going to be tough. Right in the middle of fucking football season, Dana?
Right before the first week, right? Is that where you did
September 8th.
Is that the opening weekend? When is it?
September 8th is the Thursday.
That's Labor Day.
Oh, that's the cut-down weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're fucking in. Okay, will you give us a good spot?
Let's do it.
Okay! You've been waiting a year to
Let's
make
do it. Do a live event from Paris, France. We'll set it up. I'll even kick in some money to help you guys with to get out there.
Now we're talking.
Hell yeah!
Okay.
Now we
oui,
go.
oui. Je m'appelle Pat.
The 487 million you already got isn't enough. I'll kick in some more money and help you guys fly over there.
A wise poet named Wheezy F. Baby said, too much money ain't enough money, okay? So we will try to save everything we possibly can. Go ahead, Ty Schmidt.
Dana, like Pat mentioned, you guys have basically at this point been damn near everywhere in the world. But when you do go to these like new international markets, does it take more time matchmaking, putting that card together? Like, do you feel a little bit more pressure? Because it's like, I mean, people are already watching, but it's like, oh, we need this live event to be fucking insane.
No, it's a great question, but no, I mean, every week we're very focused and aware of matchmaking. It's all about the matchmaking. It's what keeps this business going like this. It's the ability to go out and find the best talent in the world and put on the best fights that you could possibly make. So every week we worry about that, not just when we go into new territories.
Hey, big names being lingered, rumored, big names. Hey, guy from Ohio. Mm-hmm. Stipe, huh? Stipe. And then who's that other guy? Oh, John Jones. Hey, the internet is cooking right now, Dana. That's good news for your business. Good news for you. Should we snoop around in that anymore, or what do you think?
Yeah, obviously Francis Ngannou, had to have knee surgery. So the thing that possibly makes sense, depending on how fast he's going to be back, would be Stipe versus John Jones in the heavyweight division, and the winner fights him.
Oh. When's that? Paris?
We're working on it.
What's that going to take? Is that business with you and John Jones? Business good? Not a problem there? What would it be?
I mean, if you got a big fight like that, it's either Vegas or Madison Square Garden.
Hey, are we going to be able to set up outside of that one?
Yeah.
You kick in some money for us to come to that one as well. That'd be awesome. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Dana, do you ever see the baddest motherfucker belt being put up again? Because that whole entire, promotion for that was unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know. Possibly, yes.
Oh. Okay. Is there certain people that you would put into a baddest motherfucker division? And it's like, okay, here we go. This is what we do, or how would that work out?
Well, it's interesting. He asked that question. It's crazy how many of the guys actually want that belt. So, it's something to think about. I haven't thought about it, but it's something to think about. Yes.
Oh, I'm happy we could drop that into your world. John Jones,
Here we go.
Paris. I mean, add things into your world. That's awesome. Last question here. Dana, we can't thank you enough. Go ahead, Tone.
Dana, not so much a question. I just heard a clip of you the other day talking about your goal when you go into a casino, and then I heard Pat talking about it the other day as well. And I didn't know if you knew, but you two have the same mindset. You said you go in there, you put $100. You're not there for drinks. You're not there for anything else. You put $150,000 down on a hand, and if you win that hand, you won $150,000. That's the goal. And Pat always tells us, hey, you can leave this place as a winner.
You're allowed to walk away with chips. People forget.
100%. It's because the problem is everybody, wherever you're from, you're going to Vegas with your buddies, and you literally take an amount of money that you're willing to lose, whether it's $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. You get to the casino, you sit down at the table with your buddies, you start drinking, talking, nobody's paying attention, you're not playing the right way, you lose $2,000, oh, well, we're going to a show, we're going out, we're going to the club. I go in to win. If you go in with $100 and you win $100, you just doubled your money. You can get up and leave, but nobody does it.
Yeah, it's you're the guy at blackjack too, huh? You're the guy.
I do okay.
You count cards?
What's the trick? Why you get booted, Dana? You count cards? What are you doing?
The trick is to get up and leave when you're winning. There's a whole system to it. I negotiate a deal before I go in and play. And let me tell you what, I'm going to tell everybody right now. If you're a real player and you play big money and you're really there to play, don't play in any casino in this town except for Caesar's Palace. Caesar's Palace is the only place that can really handle big play, treats you right, takes care of their customers, and does everything the right way. And if you guys really want to do it, you guys should come out here one of these times. I'll take you to Caesar's with me, and okay. I'll show you some shit.
Deal.
All right, I'll kick in some money for that. All right, how much am I bringing? 150? Is that the number?
Hey, you got big dough, man. You bring whatever you want. I'll help negotiate your deal over at Caesar's.
Well, I'll do whatever you're doing.
All right, deal.
All right, that's awesome. We can't thank you enough. Good luck with 275 this weekend, the first pay-per-view in Southeast Asia. You're the absolute man. We'll see you soon. Tell all those interns we said what's up.
Will do. Take care, boys. Have a great weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dana White. All right, so we're going to Paris. We're going to Caesar's Palace.
What? Munich in November?
Yeah, Munich in November. Potentially, that one's still on the rocks. We haven't been able to find a venue, which international conversations have been held up a little bit.
Sure.
Did not
Vegas
expect
or MSG again.
for the John Jones and Stipe one.
Yep.
That was a great call.
Not bad.
Unbelievable.
Cost us a lot of money. That call just cost a lot of money, but it's amazing.
You and Dana, July 1st, Caesars.
Let's go, dude.
Ooh, yeah.